I really want to cover this story. With homelessness on the rise, the Supreme Court weighs bans on sleeping outdoors.
I said housing, you said no. Housing. Housing. I said healthcare, you said no. Healthcare.
The Supreme Court wrestled with major questions about homelessness today in a case that's considered the most significant on the issue in decades.
And share our live stream. There are over 500 people here today. And we want to make sure that people all across
The case specifically deals with camping bans on public property in states in the West, and whether banning people from camping outside when they have no place else to stay amounts to cruel and unusual punishment. The case comes from the Oregon city of Grants Pass, which passed ordinances setting fines of nearly $300 for camping in its parks.
He's back, yeah. What is this video footage?
The city says it needs ordinances like this in order to manage homeless encampments in town. And they've been joined by a
Fucking cricket noises and like
partisan cross-section of other state and local officials in the West, especially in California, which is home to nearly
AP, what are you doing? What is happening in this video? What is going on? I feel like I'm in a fever dream. Is there more footage with no one speaking over it?
The country's homeless population. Courts in the West,
First day on the job. Baby's first edit.
West have found that banning people from camping in public spaces, if shelter space is lacking, amounts to cruel and unusual punishment. But cities say
Oh my God.
those findings.
Why is it funny? Imagine that being your home. I'm not laughing at the fucking tent, you fool. I'm laughing at the editing. Like, this feels edited in an insane way. Like, the way they're editing it is just like silence with like buzzing in the middle with like the B-roll footage playing in the background. So insane.
Made it hard for them to deal with.
Here's an NBC story if you want to watch instead. Please and thank you, Christ.
Today,
oh my
the Supreme
God.
Court heard a major case about whether cities can crack down on homeless camps and punish people for sleeping outdoors. This case centers around a small city in Oregon that tried to block people from sleeping in public, even if they had nowhere else to go. A recent report by the federal government found that more than 650,000 people across the country were living in shelters or outside in tents and cars. NBC News Washington correspondent Yamiche Sindor joins us now. Yamiche, it's good to see you this Monday. First off, what did we actually hear in those oral arguments today?
Well, today the Supreme Court sounded skeptical of Oregon's case as the justices heard oral arguments on whether government laws punishing homeless people from camping on public property violate the Constitution and specifically the Eighth Amendment, which bars cruel and unusual punishment. Now, the ordinances in question were enacted by the city of Grants Pass, Oregon. They prohibit sleeping or camping on public property, including sleeping in a car in a city park. Now, a key issue in this case is punishment, which can include fines of up to several $100s. People can also be...
Where are they supposed to sleep? Sorry, you can't sleep on the street. You can't sleep on the sidewalks. You can't sleep in a tent. You can't sleep in your car. Where are they supposed to fucking sleep?
Barred from coming back to certain public properties. Today, both liberal and conservative justices posed a number of questions about how the laws could help curb homelessness, which is what the city says they will do. Justice Brett Kavanaugh, who's a conservative, at one point...
How does making sleeping outside illegal help fix homelessness?
said, if you get arrested for camping outside, how are you better off than you were before you got arrested? Now, lawyers for the homeless parties, which sued the city, argued that the ordinances, in effect, criminalize homelessness and do nothing to improve the economic problems that cause people to have no place to go, Morgan.
And Yamiche, I mean, frankly,
when you remember that 40% of homeless people have jobs, this is not a laziness problem. This is not a bootstrap problem. If you're able to hold a job, you shouldn't be sleeping on the streets. If you're able to show up to your job, sit there for 8 hours and go home, you're able to hold a job, you shouldn't be homeless. It's that simple. It's literally that simple.
Seen this before, right? Policing the homeless has become a pretty big legal fight in other cities as well. So how could this case sort of have implications for other states, other places that are looking at this as sort of the canary in the coal mine?
Well, the Supreme Court decision here will have wide-reaching impact because a number of cities prohibit camping on public property, and local officials in several cities, including Los Angeles.
What do we have to do to start like protesting outside of like Supreme Justice's houses? Like, we need to do what they're doing in Israel, like protesting outside of Bibi's house. We need to start going to justice houses and protesting and just like marching in front of their house. Like, this is a joke, dude. This is a fucking joke. No, Asmongold says it's illegal. Oh, sorry, guys. Never mind. Sorry. It's illegal. We can't do it. Sorry. No, my bad. My bad. I know I'm suggesting we peacefully protest, but it's illegal. So never mind. Sorry. I wouldn't want to inconvenience the judges. Oh my God. Then something might actually get done.
Angeles, San Francisco, and Phoenix, they all wrote into the Supreme Court in support of Grants Pass, Oregon. But the Biden administration here has mostly backed the challenge.
How will the minimum wage Supreme Court justices get to work? How will they? Denims.
Meaning the advocates for the homeless and their lawyers saying that laws that bar sleeping on public property are unlawful if they are applied in a manner that prevents an individual without available shelter from residing in the jurisdiction. So definitely a case to watch, and definitely one that's going to have impact.
Yeah,
Morgan?
For sure. NBC News Washington correspondent Yamiche Alcindor. Thank you, Yamiche.
Thanks for watching.
Dude, this guy's head has so many secrets inside of it. That's why it's so big. I bet he stores like the cure to cancer in there. It's just powerful. It goes up so high. Like, I feel like even if I started balding, it would just kind of go backwards, but his just like goes up. Wow. Now I saw that was just to give some context. What does he know? My dad said he looked like a Klingon. No comment. No comment. No comment. I just wanted to show that for some context on what's currently happening in the Supreme Court. What I really wanted to see and watch with you guys was this video that is titled Sotomayor asks if the unhoused should kill themselves by not sleeping if they lack shelter.
Your intent was to remove, stated by your mayor, intent is to remove every homeless person and give them no public space to sit down with a blanket or lay down with a blanket and fall asleep.
That's not the intent of the law, and I would like to address that point because the other side...
Why don't you answer the basic question?
Yes. So
it's not about fires, it's not about tents, it's about not being a time and place restriction, about eliminating all choices.
So we think that it is harmful for people to be living in public spaces, on streets and in parks, whatever bedding materials, when humans are living in those conditions. We think that that's not compassionate and that
it's not, but neither is providing them with nothing.
Well,
to alleviate that situation?
this is a difficult policy question, Justice Sotomayor. It is.
Where do we put them if every city, every village, every town lacks compassion and passes a law identical to this? Where are they supposed to sleep? Are they supposed to kill themselves not sleeping?
So this is a necessity defense, as I mentioned, under Oregon law is available. States are able to address these concerns. This is
eating.
a complicated policy question. We believe that the Eighth Amendment analysis, to go back to it, focuses on the low-level
What's so complicated about letting someone somewhere sleep with a blanket in the outside if they have nowhere to sleep? The laws against defecation, the laws against keeping things unsanitary around yourself, those have all been upheld. The only thing this injunction does is say you can't stop someone from sleeping in a public place without a blanket.
Fucking eat. And you want to know the best? You want to know the best part about this lady? Even better than what she's saying? Her age, 69. Nice. Nice. I'm an adult smile.